Coming up on AIB Talks, where authors and business connect.
You know, I would rather fail than quit. I would rather keep messing up and keep stumbling over and, you know, having to keep picking myself back up than to just fall out and quit. That's when you truly fail, you know, and some people feel like, oh, I let this one go 10 years ago, but I picked it back up. You actually never let it go. You've been thinking about this for quite some time. You've been doing little bits and pieces with it because you couldn't let it go. You didn't quit, you took a break. It's again, changing the mindset. Prosperity mindset is about looking at it from a perspective that is of abundance, not necessarily of lack. And it depends on how you look at your cup.
All the way from Los Angeles, California, you have joining us author Wendy Talley. She talks about time management, setting goals, and finishing what you started. Now, if you're watching this video, that means that you are either an aspiring author looking to publish your book, you're either an author already, maybe you're in business, and maybe you start out 3 years ago, maybe you've been writing your book for 10 years now, maybe you've been in business 5 years ago, and you're saying, hey, look, I feel like I'm either running in place, or I think that I have so many ideas and dreams, and I haven't finished it, I don't even know where to start. And maybe one of those things is saying, you know what, life just got out of hand, I have a new baby, I got a new dog, I moved, you know, problems arise, and you said, hey, look, I still got these goals, but they're not finished. And then you might say, you know what, why even bother? I'm just going to enjoy everybody else's success and still sit on the timeline. Well, in this workbook that Wendy is going to share with you guys, and I'm excited to bring this to you because you're going to find so many different tools to apply to your specific need. I'm not saying that you have to eat the whole book or digest the whole information as you guys are watching this video today, but take what you need, what resonates with you, what can you do now, because when you see those results, then it kind of tricks your brain for a shot of, like a shot of dopamine or something, for you to continue to go and conquer your next goals. So we're gonna go right into it. We're gonna talk to, welcome, Wendy Talley. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you so much, DLee. You are amazing, and thank you for having me all the way from California.
Yes, my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure.
Yes.
And so I really don't want this to be somewhat of an interview.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, if you don't know, well, you'll get to know, but she's very easy to talk to, where it doesn't feel judgmental.
Yes.
It feels like you're speaking from a place of experience.
Yes.
And it's just like, I'm not going to go to the doctor for him to change my oil. You know, you go to the right person to help them with that need. And I'd rather go to a doctor who's experienced. Than to this mechanic and tell him, hey, look, can you fix my toe, type of thing, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So share with us about setting goals. I mean, because we kind of have our own definition of this whole thing.
Yeah. Setting goals is an art. It's definitely an art form. It's not something that someone is born with doing. And so you want to be mindful of exactly what it is that you want to do, and you have to first have vision. You know, because the goal is already designed, it's already kind of formulated in your mind. So before anybody can even set a goal, you have to have vision. You have to know where you're going. You have to be able to push forth in whatever it is that you're looking for. And so when you set a goal, you have decided to commit to an aspect of your life that you want to improve someone else's life, or you just want to be that history maker, right? And so setting goals is about creating an idea and putting a date on it and believing that it will definitely take success. So that's a lot of times what I tell my clients when I'm working with them. You know, what do you already envision? And if they haven't gotten that vision yet, let's visualize first, and then let's create the goal.
Right. Because, I mean, for myself, maybe somebody who's watching this too, we like the end result. It's kind of like seeing the McDonald's commercial of a burger, right? And then, you know, it may not come out that way, but you kind of see the end result before you actually order the food or do, you know, making the, you know, step to go to the restaurant and go in there and the waiting line and the whole little, all the process and the end goal. So I see what you're saying in regards to seeing the vision, too, as well. And then also if a person doesn't have a vision or they can't see it, hey, look, do you recommend them teaming up with somebody for them to dream together?
Sometimes that's what you have to do. A lot of times folks don't actually envision what it is that they want to do in life. They have to join someone else's vision or their dreams to really pick out, you know, their own goals and their own talents. What are your talents? What are your skill sets? You know, skill is important. You can't teach skill. You can teach anybody how to do a task, but you can't teach somebody to have a necessary skill that they're really good at. It's innate. And so when you join someone's team, I'm big on collaboration. I think that every entrepreneur, every author need to, you know, collaborate just to even get off the ground. You know, for me to even write SMART goals and time management, you know, that's my labor of love. That's my baby. It took me 2 years. But prior to that, I never saw myself as an author. I never envisioned it. Is this really going to be my life? And so when I joined the ranks of watching other authors like you and friends of mine that are out there, I began to see their process, help them with their process, gave feedback. And so once their vision became their goal and I saw their end product, I began to have my own. So it's good to be able to collaborate and help you pull out what it is that you need. But again, collaboration and just starting out would be really great if you don't have the vision as of yet. But if you do, if you have the vision already, then begin to draw that out in your mind. And in SMART goals and time management, we talked about this earlier, it's about having the vision of color, the vision of shapes, and what does that look like in pictures. And those things can really help you create the vision that you're looking for.
How do I not get caught with all I do is just stream with this one person? Is that healthy? Like,
yeah, you know what? You bring up a good idea, because there are a lot of dreamers that are out there. People have a lot of wishes, but see, those things are nothing but fly-by-night ideas that are floating in the air. You know, until you actually put a date on anything, it's not a goal.
Still to come on AIB Talks.
Be non-negotiable. Be intentional about those things. It will never move any faster than where you're sitting having a good girlfriend chat and that's all you guys talk about, and then you leave the room, right? And then it's over. Where do we go from here? So it's not about just having dreamer conversation, but it's about saying, okay, where do we go from here? What is the next step? Those are you want to have a brainstorming, you know, session, mastermind, create actual measurable steps.
Are you an entrepreneur who is always on the go? Are you tired of being tired? Do you find yourself on the hamster wheel and don't know how to get off? Hi, I'm Jay Jones and I want to help you with that. Please join me for my free masterclass for the busy entrepreneur. This class you will learn how to reduce stress, increase focus, and get results. For more information, please visit bit.ly/masterclass with Jay Jones. I'll see you soon.
And we could talk about that more, about the acronym of SMART, because that's really important. That's how you get things propelled. But if you're talking to a dreamer that constantly keeps saying, well, not right now, maybe later, let's keep talking, that person is not only delaying their process, but they're also delaying your success. And they're delaying someone else to benefit from, you know, your blessing. See, my goal of writing this book was my own personal goal, that I can actually do it. But this has launched so many people into their purpose and into their dreams. And I had no idea it was going to impact so many people. But your gifts are not for you. It's definitely to help someone else move. But then you're walking around and living in it. It's best to just share it. but you got to put a date on it.
You got to put a date on it. It's kind of like Beyonce put a ring on it, you know, and that's when you know they're serious, right?
Yes.
In regards to relationships. But how you know your goals are serious is when you put a date on it. And so that sounds like a great event. Yeah. You know, or a hashtag. Put a date on it.
Yes.
Right.
Hashtag
so
put a date on it.
when someone says, "Hey, look, I want to, you know, help you with your business, or you should do this," you say, "Oh, girl, that sounds good. Put a date on it." Right?
Yes.
I want to work on a new book, and even if you're a coach or a consultant, just like myself, I'm going to tell them and say, "Oh, yeah, that sounds great. We can definitely assist you with that, but you have to put a date on it.
Yeah.
We can't work with you or move forward until you put a date on it."
Absolutely.
So that's good. So I want to know. I see here on the book, you know, we talked about it briefly a little bit about time management. Can you really manage time?
No, you cannot. No one can ever really manage time. I mean, as the time is moving right now, as we're doing this great show here, the time is moving. It's not about necessarily managing your time. It's about managing you. It's about managing your behavior and your discipline. Time is about discipline. And folks need to be able to understand it's not about just having a calendar with just some times on it and then you're putting in what you're going to be doing that day. But it's about what do I need to do to ensure that that time is actually completed, because the time and the event is what? It's a goal. You wrote it down. And so we need to put things down, written down, so that we can be able to do that. But we cannot manage time. It's about managing your behavior. It's us. Absolutely.
So is mindset a behavior, or is it a belief system? Because I think we talked a little bit about it off air, about being resilient. Share with them about what you mentioned about being resilient, because I asked her, I was like, isn't it harder to not quit than it is to quit? I know sometimes people say it's easy to quit, but for me, there's times I want to quit. I legitimately want to quit. Yes. And it's so hard to really just throw in that towel. I have like the towel in my hand and I'm like, no, just one more second. Let me just wait for a second here. Let me see something real quick. So for me, I think it's more difficult to quit. But what about the solution you share with us about quitting, about being resilient, having it as your belief system, or is it a part of your DNA?
Resiliency is a part of who you are. By career trade, I am a trained therapist. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. May 15, 2020, I'll be Dr. Talley. Yay!
Congratulations.
USC, right on. I'm excited. But resiliency is about innate. It's what you're born with. Not everyone has it, right? And it's not a bad thing or a good thing. It's about having a personality trait that will allow you to overcome obstacles in your life with a little bit more ease, a little more effort, right? And I think I've quit my business last week at least 50 times.
Last week, it's only 7 days.
Right, it's only 7 days, but I quit it 50 times, right?
Wow.
But in the quitting, in the talking, in the thinking about it, and going through some negative mindsets, because even though those of us that are accomplished and doing well, we have some negative things that go on in our mindset as well, I couldn't stop. You know, I was still putting things together. I was still making the phone calls. I was still doing the billing. I was still paying the bills. But, you know, you get down and out. So it is easy to quit for those that do not have a level of resiliency. Because it's easier for them to just lay it down, because the ability to go through stress, the ability to be able to overcome is not so easy. That's why being an entrepreneur is not easy. That's why being an author is not for everybody. That's why everybody has not written a book. Right? So there's over 7 billion people that's on this planet, and we don't have 7 billion books. So you have to be that one that has to know yourself and be disciplined. So quitting is definitely some people can do. But those of us that are resilient like you and I, we may say it, but our belief system and our mindset won't allow us to do it, because it's not innate. It's not who we are. It's what we've been told about who we are. And who do we see in our family? Who do we see around us? Because you may have been brought up to believe that, let's be honest, some of us have been brought up to believe we will never go to college. We will never be no more than just, oh, I don't know, a high school dropout. We will never believe that we will never get past wherever our family has designed us to be. You cut that, right? And so a lot of times when we get into the place of wanting to do more, we have to create a new belief system. You have to relearn what it is that you already know and get rid of what was told to you in the past. That takes time. So somebody that's watching, you can say, I want to open up this business right now. I want to write my book. Okay, that's fine. But where did you get this from? How did you come to this conclusion? Where is this going to come from? Is there anybody that you can pull from? So we have to look at our surroundings and understand that our belief system comes from the vision, the images that we see. And so a lot of times with my clients, when they have this idea, and I utilize that book a lot, I utilize the section, so when you guys get the book, when you go into the SMART goals section and you're giving out your plan, I actually ask you, who's part of your tribe? Who's part of your tribe? And so if you don't have people already living within that purpose like you will never be able to see it. And that begins the new belief system that will counteract and push away the old belief system.
And this is why we have authors like verbalize not only just their book or the content of their book, but also verbalize what their expertise is, because sometimes when you are reading a book or working in a workbook, it's left to the reader's interpretation or translation of what to pull out of it to apply to your daily life. So again, like I said before, make sure that you utilize what works for you at this moment. And just like Wendy said in regards of your new belief system, I totally agree with this. You know, new way of, not, I don't want to say thinking, but thought pattern, is because even in business, guys, when I first started, I was thinking one way. I changed my belief system. Oh, this is possible. And then once I reached that goal, when I got amongst a different caliber of my colleagues, they didn't speak like I spoke. If I told my colleagues, oh, wow, I just made $10,000 in 90 minutes. This was pretty cool. I didn't know I could ever do something like that. And it was like, oh, 10,000? Good job, you know? But if I tell someone else with a different belief system, they're like, what? Are you kidding me? That is huge. But for them, they're like, oh, you just made 10,000? I just made 250 in 90 minutes. And so when you associate, when you go to new levels, I'm not saying that you guys have to aspire to be in this level or aspire with the people belief system, but as you are growing a business and accomplishing your goals, I think every goal that you accomplish, you got to recreate a new belief system, because those individuals who don't understand it, or those individuals who remember you when, will pull you back to that old pattern or muscle memory of that belief system, and you won't feel comfortable in saying, hey, I can't talk to this person, or I can't have this conversation. And so when it comes to you and your business with your clients, you have to, I think, just like you said, you have to start there, but you have to make sure you change your belief system before you start pulling people up. When it comes down mapping out the priorities, you know, for, hey, she hasn't, guys, you got it. Well, I don't really want to show you guys the book because you have to get your own copy, but she has, hey, look, how urgent is it? If it's not urgent, is it deception, leadership, necessity, or is it waste? And then she has under there, each one, bullet points under there for you to definitely participate in this activity. And I can see how your clients are really thriving from this book, because it's not necessarily being clear or accomplishing a goal. It's like, let me kind of see how much time have I been wasting. Because when you do something as a habit, you don't really
realize it's a waste.
Right.
So you're wasting time. It's not that it's a bad thing. It's just that some things are so habitual. They're not pushing it forward. They're habitual for the time being. That where you were, not where you are right now. So it's that idea of where I was, where I am, and where I'm going. So, you know, when you're mapping out your priorities, a lot of times our habits are a waste, right? And so a lot of times we don't realize it's something that we've been doing for so long. That was for the time being where we were. That was created at that time. It's called the past. But where you are right now, that habitual behavior that you have created in the past is not current for where you are right now. So you're wasting time. And you know, in one of the quadrants I talk about, you know, wasting time and you know, looking at what's not working. You have to be able to look at all the things that you're doing. Just everyone, I just want you all to take the time out right now as you're watching, get a piece of paper, and I want you to write down 5 things that you believe that you do on a regular basis you think is helpful. Listen to the words that I'm saying you think. Now, what is somebody else's thing that you think? And so if you look to see how is this benefiting where I'm going, if it's not, this is what you used to do in the past. I also want you all to visualize with me, right? We're going to start working on your vision. This is free for you, okay? I want you to work on your vision, and I want you to picture yourself in your car. You're driving. You know your car. Everybody's car has a large windshield. It's very large, right? But there's this really at the little thing at the top. It's called a rearview mirror. Very tiny, right? And it only shows you what? Things that passes you. Everything that you've passed, you've seen in the rearview mirror, right? But your windshield shows you where you're going, what's coming, what's next. And even things that are on the peripheral. What are peripheral what? Your possibilities. So there's possibilities that are coming in this direction. Your windshield is showing you what's to come and what's ahead, and then your rearview mirror show you what passed. Well, a lot of us, we tend to find ourselves in that quadrant of waste looking in the rearview mirror. What happens if we drive looking in that rearview mirror? We crash, and that's where you get people quitting. Because they define themselves based off of what has passed by, so they think that their future is going to be based off of whatever in that small rearview mirror. But if you look at what you're driving into and what you're driving, it's endless. It's definitely endless. So when you're mapping out your priorities, when you're mapping out what it is that you're looking for, use your own skills and techniques, right? Look at what's to come, not so much what has passed you by. Sounds good?
Yeah, I'm participating with you guys. I'm sitting here thinking about, okay, so I'm visualizing it. I see that windshield. You're absolutely right, Wendy. I see that rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Because it's very it's not just important, but I think this serves as a reminder for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Especially when maybe your story is of your past. I know sometimes it's difficult for authors to not necessarily write about their story, but once they get into it, it's like picking up old wounds and different things like that. And sometimes you stop, you slow down, and you don't finish that goal of completing your book because maybe it's too painful.
Yes.
Which in your workbook, there is a section about, you know, pain to power, you know, and I love it because when we talk to our members in the AIB Nation group, I'm like, listen, when I'm reading your book and it's a tone or I'm listening to you speak, you're speaking from a place of pain.
Yes.
Don't speak from that place, speak from a place of power.
Right.
So how does someone transition to that?
You know, just really quickly, just by my own past that brought me here, my own rearview mirror brought me here. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I come from a family of 11 children. I'm the baby of 11. And, you know, there were a lot of us. There was a lot of stuff going on, right? But I was the baby. I was born, you know, way after everyone else was born. I'm 11 years younger than the baby boy, right? And so here's a lot of attention paid upon me, right? And so I had a learning disability. And so I had tutors, I had folks helping me in mainstream classes make sure that I was able to participate in everything that I wanted to do. But I still struggled. Expressive learning disorder and a slight form of dyslexia. So writing for me was difficult. Processing information for me took a lot longer. But I still believed I could because the tutors I had created a belief system in me, and my parents created a belief system in me. As long as you complete each step, you're moving forward. If you don't complete a step, you're not moving forward. So in that completion and me going through school, I realized in high school I wanted to go to college. There's a pain here. See, high school never told me that I could. See, test taking was difficult for me. I had smart kids. All of my friends is graduating with cum laude and a 5.0 GPA, and I didn't even know what that even looked like. I didn't even see what an A looked like. I didn't even know an A, that you can even have one until college, right? But I had a professor, not a professor, but a social worker tell me I wasn't smart enough. I was only cute. Wow. And I should only get married and have children because I was only worthy enough for somebody else to take care of me. Because in college, I would never be able to do anything. I would fail. And so I was afraid to believe her, but inside of me, my mother kept saying, don't let somebody else's belief system be your story, right? Same thing that a lot, like Les Brown would say. And so I just couldn't see myself quitting and not doing it. And fast forward, I can say this now because I'm about to be a doctor from USC, one of the top schools in the nation. My SAT scores was only a 620. That's including writing my name. But I got into Spelman College, Long Beach State, San Diego State, right? Spelman, right? I know you're like, really? Yeah, Spelman actually accepted me, and my mother wouldn't let me go that far. But I moved on and I got my bachelor's degree. I got my master's degree from a school I never thought would even accept me at all. And so those pain points of people telling me when I couldn't do something, someone else said, I believe you can. So sometimes somebody believing in your goals and your dreams, somebody believing in your vision of yourself can push you to the next level. And those things are important. Somebody believe that I can go and be in the doctoral program and I'm here, I'll be finishing next year. See, I didn't see that for myself, but somebody else did. So whatever belief system somebody has for you and it's going to push you and propel you into your purpose, do it. Be non-negotiable, be intentional about it. But there is power in my pain. What's my pain? Learning disability, dyslexia. I was told I could never do anything, right? Just be a cute baby mama. That was it. Me? But my power came from saying, you know what? I don't see that for my life. Again, vision. Again, belief system. Again, mindset. And so in this book, I use folks' story. I need to know your pain, because if I ever quit this business, if I never write again, there's going to be somebody who watches this that have the same issues that I have that will not believe that they can. I need your pain to push you, not to handicap you. It's got to propel you into your power.
You're watching this, and if you have any additional questions for Wendy, maybe there was not a question or a comment, maybe there's a comment, maybe you may not have been dyslexia or had a learning disability, but your disability was something else. Yeah. And let us know in the comments on how she can definitely help you overcome that, because that's more in the front of the book, which correlates with having a vision and seeing that vision and that belief system. Allow Wendy and her consulting company believe in you until you can believe in yourself. I can't say how powerful that is. Yes. Because I know firsthand what it means for someone to believe in you. Yeah. And, you know, it was a time where, you know, as far as, you know, being suicidal and when sometimes things get around you guys and it's so cloudy that regardless of what somebody says about you, you still can't see it. So I said, you know what? Well, she thinks I'm great. I don't know what she sees, but she thinks I'm great. So she says I'm great, I'm great. And I just did that a little bit every day. But what Wendy is saying here, that if you can believe what other people try to place on you, that belief system negatively, then having someone like her and her staff and her firm to step in with your business to help you to say, hey, look, that's not my belief system, that's not my story, just like her mother said, right? And to change that. Absolutely. Which is really great for those who are charging their worth or their prices. Yes. Because sometimes people, you know, somebody might say, oh, you're never going to make that much money. Yes. Right? Yes. Or they may feel like you don't believe that you can have more than that, or there is more. And like we talked with some of our other guests here in the studio in regards to where this is where authors in business connect. Like, these are not just writers who are just storytellers, but these are individuals and authors. You guys have intention, and I love it. It's like my business, it tends to do this, and I'm going to use this tool to do this, which goes back to having experts just as yourself when it comes to authors who are watching this right now, who are authors in business, adjusting their belief system or their places of pain. Or
you said this earlier, we got to stop asking for permission to be great and start charging for that. I go to USC. They didn't put down my prices because they was hoping this is the price. This is how much it's going to be. Are you coming? We need to know about this day because we need those checks cleared. Okay? That's just how we do it, right? We need to be able to think of that the same way. Well, if I'm looking to sell 80,000 units, 100,000 units, I'm going to want a coach that has done that. So if she's done this and I'm looking for her to do that, help me learn how to do the tools that she used to do that, she's not going to charge me $50 because it's so important. If this has everything that I've done that has worked well for me and has gotten me to a certain income level, and you want to be there or higher, and you want these same skills and tools and techniques, then yeah, if I'm charging $5,000, I'm going to make sure that your program is not going to at least charge that much or even more. So you have to walk into, you have to have, if you want to charge $5,000, you have to have a $20,000 walk. They have to believe in you. You have to walk it and believe it. Stop asking for permission. So when you are setting your prices, don't gouge it. Really understand, break it down in some itemized steps to look at what exactly is my client getting, right? Our bonus, you know, what are the tips? What's the follow-up? What's the mentoringship after the coaching? You got to know the difference between the two. If you're getting a mentor or a coach, because those two things are very, very different. But at the end of the day, don't ask for cheap, ask for quality. Where is it going to take me to the next? So set those prices. Don't ask for permission. Know your worth. And if you don't know your worth, put together your program. Pitch the idea. See what people ask me. How much would you pay for this? That's how I started out. And one woman said, I'll pay you $5,000 for that. That's my price. And that's where I went. I just need one person to say yes. Because when one person says yes and she gets her results delivered, guess what? She's going to keep referring and keep referring and keep referring. And that's my target market. Know your target market. Because if I target millionaires, but I price them at budget friendly, guess who's going to come to me more often? Is the budget friendly. Somebody with money and wants proven results is not going to come to somebody who's cheap. It's about investment. Don't look at it as a cost, look at it as an investment.
Absolutely. And guys, listen, if you want to know more on how to set goals, how to set your prices, how to set your life, don't forget to put a date on it. However, we definitely want you guys to get a copy of this book, okay? Smart Goals, Time Management Workbook. I'm telling you, I mean, just sitting here with it right now, you're definitely going to not only enjoy it, but also learn some new different things, put actionable steps that are in here that are very easy to use. So if you're like on the go with me and you're really trying to maximize your time, utilize your time, the phone is ringing, this, that, and the other too as well, you can definitely utilize this workbook. And it will keep your attention. I mean, again, I don't want to show you what's inside, but just to sum it up, a small sneak peek inside of the book, I love it is because of the big text.
Yes.
So if you guys are into creating a workbook too as well, the text, the color of it, it grabs the attention and it makes me want to keep going. It definitely wants to make me keep going and to finish this and to see it all the way to the end. What's beautiful about it, just like what Wendy was speaking about in regards of your goals, if my goal is to make $500,000 a year, $500,000, $100,000 a month, then you're saying that as an author. You're saying that as a business person too as well. You definitely want to, because the belief system is different now. So you definitely want to get under the stewardship and partner yourself up with a business and a company who has that belief system. Even if it's a dream, it's a goal, it's not a belief system yet, but you want to already get in parallel with that, with somebody who already sees it that way. This is AIB Talks, guys. This is where authors and businesses connect. We greatly appreciate you guys watching this all the way to the very end. And again, if you guys have any other questions, definitely want to connect with Wendy Talley.
With SMART goals and time management, I got an amazing program for you to get your feet right in and invest to make sure your visions come alive, you get your goals set, and you have the right strategy. Listen, I know that you are stuck, you don't know where to go. You've had businesses start and then end. You have programs that start and then end. Heck, you've been in school and you start and you stop. You didn't have a strategy. Listen, I'm your girl for this. My coaching program gives you everything that you know, step by step, of what it is that you need to get your things in order. So listen, this is how you get in contact with me, because I'm going to be working with you one-on-one, face-to-face, and some of you right on video. We're going to talk about your pain points and put those into power. We're going to help create a new belief system and a new mindset. We're going to help create you some new language around money. Yes, money, so you can be able to charge what you believe in, and so that you can be able to use those SMART goals and have a great strategy in managing you, not time, but managing you as well. So you want to get with me. Go to my Instagram, DM me. That's what we do, right? At Wendy_Talley. That's TALLEY _LCSW _DSWC. Get with me, DM me. Let's start your program right now so you can have amazing strategy walking the rest of 2019 right into 2020.